In this video, we're going to show you how to duplicate runes and also duplicate materials with the Yule Festival with patch 1.4.1.2 that came out on January 6, 2022. Subscribe to the Linus Wilson channel where we give you the secrets to crush Assassin's Creed Valhalla. So I think a small number of players were actually able to play the Yule Festival when it came out, but for most of us, we had to wait until 1.4.1.2. So this patch that came out in early January 2022, the first patch of 2022, to actually play it. And we knew from reports that people were getting duplicate armor sets, and I can verify that right here. I got the Modraniht set. I'm not sure that I got it at the Yule Festival. I think they gave it as a reward at some point during the year too, if you didn't get it at the Yule Festival. But I started out with the full Modraniht set, which is what's sold at Norvid's shop. So you should be able to start the Yule Festival by just showing up at Ravensthorpe, and immediately it should pop. You go to your left once you're coming off the docks towards the, I don't know where the River Raids dock is. Head towards the River Raids dock, and Norvid's going to introduce you to the festival, and you'll get your quests and everything. It's and then you just, what you need to do is you want to buy at least one item of the Modraniht set, and if you don't have a duplicate armor set already, I would say buy the torso if you're only going to buy one. I think it's only 60 tokens. And then you need to reset Norvid if you don't already have a Modraniht set like I did. I was able to start duplicating right away after I got that first one, but you may need a second one, a second torso. So to get the second torso or the second armor piece, the benefit of the torso is that you get the diamond runes, and if you use the other pieces of the armor set, then you won't get to duplicate diamond runes, and that's the downside. So once you get the torso or another piece, you want to upgrade those to the mythical status, so you're going to need some tungsten and nickel to do that. And then you can duplicate 3 runes at a time, including a diamond rune if you're using the torso, and that should make you a lot of money, and that's definitely the fastest money maker in the game, is duplicating runes with a duplicate armor piece. So last festival, Oscoria, we went into that. In this channel, you were able to duplicate runes with the Hell Sky. You were able to buy multiple Hell Skies. I found with the bow for the Yule Festival, that does not show up at Norvid's shop twice, right? So how do you get Norvid's shop to reset? So the way that I think most of you will want to do it, and I have a video on how to reset the shops. Norvid's shops works like all the other shops. It just has a specialized inventory in terms of resetting. It resets when you level up. That is, you level up through XP. So not when you get like a skill point award for doing like one thing, but when you get enough XP to get to the next level in terms of skill points or mastery points. So mastery points if you're above the maximum skill level. And so how do you level up? You do a main quest, you do a world event, you do a few world events that should get you leveled up. Those are probably the fastest ways to level up. Unless you're sitting on a horde of Dublin trading profits like I am. And so the Dublin trading system, you sell like 100 or 50 of these Dublin trading items to Azar, you get 50 XP. You can level up really quick if you have a horde of those just whenever you want to, and that's the way to reset the shops. The alternative is like if you've got something to do that you have to go to work or school or whatever, or go do something else, just leave your console or game on for 3 hours and it should reset, right? So if you just leave it on idle, even if it times out on your console, the shop should reset after 3 hours. So you could be playing the game for 3 hours, or you could be doing nothing for 3 hours. As long as the game is still on, should reset. But most of you will just want to level up, right? You don't really level up that much during the Yule Festival. So if you want to get that duplicate item ASAP, then find a good way to level up through XP, which should be doing a main quest, a map quest, one of Ranvi's quests, or doing a world event, those are the biggest XP things. And then if you got doubling trading profits, you could do that too. And then once you've leveled up, you buy the item a second time. You want to upgrade that fully, and then the way that you duplicate runes, and people ask me this, is that you got to make sure that the item that you say you've got the torso for the Modraniht set. The torso piece, you want to make sure that that is linked with the duplicate one. So you equip the torso and you check to see that both torsos are highlighted like they're in sync when you equip that torso. For one of those, it won't be, and for one, it will be. So if you find they're not linked, equip the other torso, and then you should look in your inventory and you should see that it is linked. Right? There should be like an outline showing that they're linked. They get highlighted when one of them's equipped. And so with the one that is equipped, given they're linked, you want to put in runes, right? And then with the one that is not equipped that is linked, you want to take off the rune, right? So you do the button presses to take off the runes of the one that's not equipped. Once the runes are off the one that is not equipped, and those runes will magically appear once you equip them on the one that's equipped, as long as it's linked. So once you've taken them off the one that's not equipped, then unequip the equipped one and re-equip it, and you should see that they're both linked and that the runes go back on the one that's never been equipped, right? So by taking off the armor piece and then putting it back on, it gets the runes to reset in the one that's the armor piece is not equipped, and then you just take them off the one that's not equipped, equip, unequip. For the one that is equipped, you should get the runes back on the one that's unequipped, take them off, and keep on doing that until you can't stand it, or you've got enough runes and you sell them. If you have a ton of runes, I've done a ton of rune duplication, and you've not sold them off, your system will move slower in the rune screen. So it may be better just to do like one type of rune for this, but I also am of the theory that they have repeatedly taken away the duplicate sets throughout 2021. So in 2022, I assume that these duplicate sets will be taken away at some point. We don't know when. Probably the next update is going to be late January. They did not patch the Hell's Scythe thing, and they are giving you duplicate armor sets right now, and they didn't basically patch the Norvid sales glitch from the Yule Festival, which just ended prior to patch 1.41, where you could get duplicate Hell Scythes, and so I suspect they're not going to hot fix this one, but they may patch it out with 1.4.2 if we get to that one at the end of January. Now, you can also use, once you have these fully upgraded, you can also use them, and I've got videos on this, and I'll put links to all the videos from 1.40 where we did this for the Hell's Scythe, and also my 1.41 glitches that work video talks about this. But you can also downgrade the unequipped item, and that'll allow the unequipped duplicate, and then save and reload, and then repeat that process to get thousands upon thousands of iron, steel, leather, and also hundreds and hundreds of duplicate tungsten, nickel, and titanium. But it's a little bit trickier than rune duplication. Rune duplication's a little bit easier. Rune duplication's going to give you silver because you sell the runes for silver. For the materials duplication, that's really for your upgrades. And seriously, you need hundreds of thousands of pieces of iron to upgrade all the armor sets and all the weapon sets. Hundreds of thousands of pieces of leather to upgrade all the armor and weapon sets. It's just a huge number. You cannot fathom how long that would take to gather by other methods. I've done it, but this is by far the fastest. So if you've not upgraded everything, 500,000 iron is not too much. But anyways, you can upgrade as much as you want, and maybe you only just want to have one set upgrade. You just want one set fully upgraded. It's up to you, right? We're just giving you the means to do that as quickly as possible. So for the downgrading the downgrading of the armor set, so you fully upgrade one armor set. If you're lucky, that will duplicate in your duplicate torso. So you have two torso pieces of Modraniht, for example, and this will also work with weapons. So if you have a duplicate Hell's Scythe, so you fully upgrade to the mythical, both of them, through Gunner. And then for one of them, and it'll be pretty clear which one will let you do this, you want to upgrade with iron, leather, and titanium, whereas you do that on yourself with the rectangle upgrades. There's 10 of those rectangle upgrades you can do. And then hopefully that will duplicate in your duplicate set. It's not guaranteed. You may want to watch my video about how to create duplicates of duplicates, which you want to avoid. It's just a pain in the rear end. So you only have one duplicate instead of 50 duplicate torsos. You want to avoid getting 50 duplicate torsos. But with that warning in place, so sometimes it'll downgrade it and sometimes it'll upgrade it, but if you don't panic, you should be able to have them fully upgraded, and then you want to make sure that they are linked. So you want to have the one that is equipped, you want to make sure that's linked with the duplicate. If it's not linked with the duplicate, don't downgrade it up at the blacksmith. So you've got to make sure that they're linked. You can see them linked in your inventory. They're going to be highlighted in your inventory. And if they're both highlighted when one of them is equipped, then you want to downgrade the one that is not equipped with Gunner the blacksmith, or any blacksmith in the game. And then you exit out of his menu. You should see all the materials pop. It's going to cost you 400 silver each time you do this, but the materials are worth far, far more than 400 silver if you bought them at the merchant, right? And it would take forever to gather these materials. So then you exit out of the menu with Gunner. I would say do a quick save and then reload onto that quick save. And if all goes well, you should see that the item is fully upgraded. Again, you want to make sure that you've got you're equipping. You want to go back in your inventory after you reload, and you want to make sure that you're equipping the armor piece. We're going to say the Modraniht torso is what we're doing today. The Modraniht torso, the one that's equipped, is linked to the one that's not equipped. And then you can go to Gunner and downgrade again. You should get all the thousands of leather and hundreds of iron, etc., and tungsten and nickel. That should all pop with the downgrade. And you exit out of his menu, quick save, reload, then again, and then you repeat the process, right? You repeat the process that once you reload, you check your inventory, you make sure that that the one that is equipped is linked. They're both linked. You got to see them highlighted. Then exit out of your inventory, talk to Gunner, downgrade, exit Gunner, quick save, reload. You can also manual save, it's fine too. And then repeat that process. Now, things can go wrong with this. It's possible that, when you come back, it'll still be downgraded, right? In that case, you may want to go back to your previous save, right? So if you see that the duplicate is not at the mythical level, you may want to go back to your previous save. Depending on the way that they equipped and are linked, then you should be able to upgrade without actually upgrading, so duplicating the upgrades of the upgraded one. But sometimes it's going to work backwards, and you're going to downgrade the intermediate, the square upgrades of the duplicate one accidentally. So that might be an instance where you either want to fiddle with it for a little bit, or you want to go back to your previous save before they were downgraded and try again. But it seems like how each armor set is linked changes every time you save and reload, and so that makes it the materials glitch harder to implement. It's harder to do the materials glitch than the rune duplication glitch, but it's far more rewarding because the materials are so much more valuable than the silver or anything you can buy with silver, because the shops are so limited in the amount. And that's why I know about how to reset the shops, right? Because I needed to reset the shops so I could buy more stuff to do the upgrades, but they get so little in the shops to begin with. That's why mastering the materials glitch, it may not be immediate, but it's totally worth it. All right, have fun with the Yule Festival. I think that, my take on the Yule Festival is, if you're really good with the bow, then the bow challenge is probably a little bit quicker. If you're not so good with the bow, then it's probably a little bit better or about the same, and maybe more enjoyable to farm the tokens in the fight ring. But it shouldn't take you very long, regardless of how efficient you are, that you should be able to complete the Yule Festival and buy everything in the shop the first time in a couple hours, maybe 4 hours tops, totally tops. But if you're buying duplicate items, like if you're buying 2 Modraniht armor sets, then maybe it's going to take you another extra hour to farm tokens and buy those. I would not recommend buying the items 3 times, right? So I would not recommend buying the Modraniht set 3 times. 2 times max if you don't already have one. 1 time max if you had one from last year, and so that you have a duplicate piece of each one, and that's where I would personally stop. I don't think having multiple, like having 3 or 4 or 7 or 10 of the same duplicate piece is helpful in terms of either the rune duplication glitch or the downgrading glitch, the materials glitch. So that's what I would recommend. And yeah, I think in terms of just getting the tokens in the Yule Festival, you want to do those kind of story. There's 2 story type quests. There's one about the cows and there's one about the ale, and those will give you a lot of tokens in a short period of time too, and they're a little less grindy than playing the fight ring 5 times or doing the arrows 10 times. All right, subscribe to the Linus Wilson channel. We give you the secrets to crush Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Happy duplication of runes, iron, leather, titanium, tungsten, and nickel.